Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Dr. Ravel Martinez with another tip for us foreign veterinary graduates going through the ECFVG process and also taking the NAVLE to get licensed here in the US to be able to practice. So one of my tip for today, and this is one that I particularly liked and one that I ended up using myself during the times that I was taking the exam. So for most of us, we're reading through the material page after page. We're going through screens of questionnaires on our computer, one after the other, slide after slide, which is good. That's how I used to study before. And then I realized someone told me about their tip with regards to studying, which is using more than one sense to study. What does that mean? So it means reading, looking through the material, reading through the books, reading through the computer. That's one sense. So we're using our sense of vision to try to memorize or to try to relearn stuff that we learned before. Again, all of this is a review of what we studied when we were in vet school. So that's good. Reading it, but sometimes that's what I used to do. But sometimes that may not be enough to have the information stick. So this is what someone told me. So aside from using your sense of sight in reading all the information, the other thing would be using your sense of hearing. How does that work? So as you are going through the material, read it aloud so that you're looking at it and you're also listening to yourself reading it. So that's good. Now you're using more than just your sense of sight to be able to memorize it. Now you're using your sense of hearing. So that's two senses altogether. But what if we write down the information, not the whole book, but the main points as we are reading it? So in a way, you're using your sense of vision, your sense of hearing, and also in a way, you're using your sense of touch as you are writing down the information. So remember how you would say, oh, I read that somewhere. Oh, I heard it somewhere. Or I remember doing the dissection when I was in vet school. I remember seeing that and then dissecting that part of the pet. So using more than one sense, hopefully, will eventually help us memorize the information that we're trying to study. Another thing would be if you're just going through pages and it's at the end of the day, it gets really boring. And before you know it, oh, I'm done, I'm gonna sleep. Then nothing really stuck to your head. But if you're hearing it, it might stick more. If you're writing it down, most especially, if you forget about it, or if you remember, oh, I remember writing this down before, having that little notebook will always be helpful so that you don't have to go through all the things, all the materials. Now you just need to find out key points on what you read. So that's easier for you to review it. So what I did before, when I was right before the exam, I didn't go through the materials anymore. I just went through my little notebook, which had most of the stuff, the key points that I wanted to go back to. So again, the main point of this tip for today would be using more than one sense to study or review through the materials that you're using. Again, using your sight, using your hearing, and using your sense of touch so that you'll be able to accumulate as much information that, again, you've already learned before, but now you're reviewing it for the exam. So keep an eye out for my other tips. I'll be posting another one. Don't forget, if you want, you can always like this video. You can comment on it. I have a Facebook page. It is DVM Rovel. There's just two words, DVM and Rovel, ROV as in Victor EL. You can add me up on Facebook. You can follow my videos. And good luck to everyone trying to study and getting, licensed here in the US. Thank you very much. Bye bye.